Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Just a Girl and Her Knitting. My name is Heather. It is August 2nd, 2024. Good morning. It's a Friday. I'm off work, so that means I have time to film really fast. I'm hoping to not make these videos as long, but I start rambling and then, we just keep going on. So, welcome back to everybody. And welcome to new viewers. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry, which I'll add down below. I'm Just a Girl and Her Knitting, or Heather_A_Elliott. That's my main account. So today we have a few finished projects, a few works in progress. I have a couple big finished objects for you guys to see. I did not film. So I filmed in June, which that took me forever to get uploaded. I don't know what was going on, but I just could not get it to go. And then I didn't film in July. I was not feeling good. And so I didn't do any filming at all. I'm already hot this morning and I don't know what to do with my hair. Need to go get it cut. But anyways, tangent. I wasn't feeling good for June or July. So there was no video in July, so we just have, I'm coming at you in August, and hopefully I'll be back on my regular every month schedule. I'm feeling better now. So I was just so tired and I could barely knit, and in the month of July I was like, did I finish anything? I did. I didn't think I had, but I did. So I guess let's just jump right on in and get started. We can start with finished objects and what am I wearing? So I have on, my first finished object is my Anna tee. It is a boxy drop shoulder summer tee. Let me see if I can move that just a little bit, maybe you can see it better. So it's got ribbing at the bottom, and a V-neck, and ribbing at the neck. It does not have sleeves, so it's sleeveless. It is knit out of Madeline Tosh Twist Light, so it's a single ply superwash merino from Madeline Tosh in the color Sea Glass. I think that's the colorway. I've had it for so long that I don't remember the colorway, and I lost the tags. I don't remember where it is. So this is by Schlick. I test knit this for her. It was a lot of fun. It was super easy. You can do a V-neck or a crew neck. You have many options for finishing. You can do an I-cord, you can do ribbing, you can do a fold over ribbing. I just chose to do ribbing on the hem and on the collar. So it's knit on US size 2. US size 2. I'm gonna try to get better at millimeter sizes on my needles and what size I knit myself, especially when it's a garment, because I don't say that very often. I am a 46-inch bust, so I knit the size 7. I knit a 50. I have the pattern. Let me grab it really fast. I can tell you exactly what size I knit. Maybe if I can find it. I'm not normally one to keep my patterns like after I print them out. So I knit size 7. It was a 55.5 inch circumference on the bust. I figured I probably should knit up a size. I would typically knit size 6 in most knitting projects that I work on that are garments. That's generally with a 46-inch bust. I don't know, it gives me the size that I prefer. I don't want it oversized and I don't want it skin tight. So that's generally size 6 is what I knit, but this time I knit the size 7, and I think it fits me well. I'll be able to wear it all fall and not have any problems. I thought I had to sneeze. So this was knit on a US size 2.5 3mm needle for the whole thing, for the ribbing, for the bind off, for the ribbing on top, the ribbing on the bottom. All of it was knit on the same needle, which was kind of convenient. I didn't have to go get, sorry, I shook the camera. I didn't have to go find smaller needles. It was knit on a small needle because it's fingering weight. But other than that, it was great. It took me about a week, about a month. Like I said, in the month of June and July, I was sick. I was feeling really run down, and so I can look on Ravelry. I was worried I wasn't gonna finish it. I actually had to message the designer and ask her. I said, so when exactly is this due? Because I feel like I'm not gonna finish in time. I finished it relatively quickly. I finished, so I started on May 30th, and then I finished July 4th. So I finished the weekend of July 4th. I actually finished this while we were up in Grand Coulee, at Grand Coulee Dam, watching the fireworks on 4th of July on that Thursday. So not too shabby. I either finished it or I started the bind off and I finished it in the dark on the drive home from Grand Coulee, or drive back to the lake from Grand Coulee. It was dark. So that I just bound off by the light of the infotainment system in the car. I was determined. So another cool thing about this is it has these purling side panels, or purl stitches on the sides. So it gives a seam. One modification I did do, so you decrease for the sleeve, like you decrease down to a certain amount of stitches. I did not do that. I left the front stitches to have about 10 more stitches on both sides, so 20 extra stitches to give me just a little bit more room, because I knew I was going to need more room in my front area. So, which I'll explain why later in a few, probably in September's video, I'll explain why I needed more room. But yeah, so that's really the only modification I made. I've worn it a few times. I love it. It's great. Her patterns are really easy to figure out, easy to follow. My other test knit I did for her is a sweater, and it has a V-neck on one side and a crew neck on the other. I'll insert a picture if I can remember. But it has a lace panel on the front, and it's just plain stockinette on the back, but you can wear it either way. So you can wear it with the lace panel and the V-neck, or you can wear it with the crew neck and the non-lace on front and the lace in the back. It's ingenious. It's super cool. 2 sweaters, basically 2 different sweaters. So it's fantastic. So finished object number 1 is my Anna top by Claire Schlick. I will link or add the description below. My next one, not super crazy. It's a dishcloth, still crocheted on the bias. This is some Walmart cotton that I got. One day I was out, I took my son to work and I forgot my knitting because I didn't take my purse, I just took my wallet. And I realized I didn't have anything to work on because I had taken him to work and I had to go do a few things, but I had about an hour to wait in between, and I wasn't gonna go home. I don't live very far, but I'm not gonna go home just to leave again. And so I decided, well, I'm near Walmart. Joann's, Hobby Lobby, and Michael's weren't open yet. I was like, well, I'm at Joann's, I might as well just go ahead and, or at my Walmart, I might as well just go in and get something. So I went and got some cotton and a new crochet hook, and it lives in the glove box of my car. So I will always have something if I need it try not to leave the house without crafting, but I did. So just a basic, another dishcloth, another one. So we have, because I didn't podcast, we have a few finished objects. Most of these were finished in July. A few were finished in June, and then some of them I don't have because I've already given them to my husband. But I have some socks for him. I duct taped my sock blockers, y'all, because I was tired of them snagging. So they have duct tape on them. They're looking real classy, but it works. It's not snagging my yarn. So the first pair of socks that I have that I'm going to show you is part of the summer socks that I've been knitting for my husband. I bought this yarn while we were on vacation. I bought it from a yarn store in, sorry, in McMinnville, Oregon. But here it is. I have the yarn tag and yarn. Look at me go. So here we go. Just a 15 round hung hem heel tab, or you know, the tab just like a heel or toe. 15 rounds for the foot or for the leg, a deep heel, 100 rows for the foot, and then a half toe. So I've also, these were cranked on my Rollbacher Gearhart circular sock knitting machine, my 72 stitch cylinder, and they are also knit with Lycra. So this is my Lycra. This is how it comes. I just hold it double with my sock yarn. And then, so here's the yarn. I still have it coned up because I still have about 35 grams left. And so I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I might make a pair of scrappy socks for him. I haven't quite decided, but here's the yarn. It's Philly by Universal Yarns. It's a 46% cotton, 33% superwash merino, and 12% polyamide. I think it's a nylon. It's a synthetic fiber. I know that. It was in focus. There we go. So it's 492 yards, 3.5 ounces. I got it on clearance from the yarn store. Oh, it's called Intertwined is the yarn store that I went to. So I also got, I got 3 more. I wish I would have just bought everything that they had. I think they had like 2 more of this color, which wouldn't have been a big deal. I would have just knit myself socks or something. So I have this color. He got a pair of socks out of this color. Well, he hasn't gotten them yet because they're technically a whip. They don't have, oh yeah, they do. They have colors. I didn't think they had colors. So this color is called Butterfly. This color is Robin. This color is called Blue. And this color, I don't have my tag, but it's somewhere around here. So he's gotten these 2 so far because these 2 are finished. And then this pair, which is right here, he's gonna get as well. I'm gonna go put them in his sock drawer. So those are a pair of socks that are done. I have another pair in here. I got this while we were on vacation. I got this yarn in Cannon Beach at Coastal Yarns. It's called Watercolor Sock. Lanes du Nord, made in Italy. It comes coned up and it's a 75% Lana muslin free wool and 25% nylon. I'm not 100% sure. and it's how many yards? 458 yards, but it comes kind of like Perfect does, Regia Perfect, but it's on a cone. So it comes to you with, you start and then you crank or knit your socks, and then there's a yarn in between, a color in between. That's when you know to stop, and then you start back up. And so it makes identical socks. I had to wind off just a little bit from each, well, from the first round of sock, but they do match. I will give them credit, they really do match. So I wanted to try it. I'd seen it on Aquila, a lefty knitter, on her podcast. She had cranked socks out of it, and I happened to see it and come across it when we were in Oregon, so I thought, ooh, I'll give it a try. I don't remember how much I paid for it, like 20 something dollars. So here we go. We have a pair of matching socks. They are a 30 round hung hem. I actually wrote down what I did on these. You can see my very vague notes. So a 30 round hung hem, 50 rounds for the leg, which gives you an 80 round with the hem. A deep heel, so I do 2+ on the deep heel, 100 for the foot, and then a half toe, short row toe, whatever you want to call it. So here's another pair. I need to wash these ones. I'm worried that they're gonna, I don't know how the color's gonna, if the color's gonna bleed really badly. So these ones need to go get washed and blocked. They'll go on my pile over there. Another pair. So one of the cool things about having my circular sock knitting machine, at least a cool thing I think, is that when I knit myself a pair of socks and I have leftover yarn, or if I knit a pair of socks for somebody and I have leftover yarn and I really enjoy the yarn and I'm not ready to be done with it, I can crank said leftovers into a tube. So that's what I did here. So you guys might recognize this. This is Peppermint Mocha by Freckled Whimsy on her Targhee base, so it's 90% Targhee, 10% nylon. I went ahead and I cranked the whole leftover into a long tube, cranked these on the 72 stitch cylinder. I used the contrast that came with it, did the contrast, so I did a 2x2 ribbing, put in a toe. I added 5 rounds for the toe, and then I cut in an afterthought heel. I added 5 rounds before I started decreasing for the heel. So basically afterthought everything socks minus the hand knitting the tubes. So I just cranked them. So afterthought socks for him. So he'll have these for Christmas. And I used up 100% of the yarn. So there's no more of this yarn. There might be the green, but as far as the Peppermint Mocha color goes, I don't think that there's any more of that left. If there is, it's a very small amount. Maybe enough to go into part of my Cozy Memories blanket. So, all right, that's that for socks for him. Oh, I forgot to mention on my dishcloth, it's always going to be the same. I crochet it on my Tulip Atimo 5.02 crochet hook. It's my favorite. So since we're on the sock parade, let's hold off on the sock parade because these socks are going to then transition to whips because I have a half finished object on it. So let's go to a couple other things. So I mentioned that there's a new baby being born. My brother-in-law, sister-in-law are having a baby. So I went ahead and started knitting sweaters. Well, a sweater for the baby. I need to do a hat, socks, whatever else I want to do. But here's the little baby sweater. It is a modified Flax DK, so it doesn't have the garter panels. And I knit this in the 0 to 6 month size. Super small and super cute. Didn't take me very long to knit it, like just a couple days, because it's so tiny. But everyone knows the Flax. Super easy, super great pattern to learn if you've never knit a sweater. It's great for that. I've knit multiples of these. These are my go-to baby sweaters. So I just chose not to do the garter panel. I knit this out of, hold on. I knit this out of yarn I got while on vacation. Do you guys see the trend here? So we picked this out specifically for the baby. I have 2 of them. I have a fingering weight as well. I'm thinking about making socks for the sister and the other brother and then the baby, matching socks. I also thought about doing it for the whole family, matching socks out of this, but I'd have to order a couple more skeins of yarn because mom and dad both have bigger feet, and I don't know that I can't get that many pairs of socks out of just 2 skeins of fingering weight yarn. So this is Weird Sisters wool. There's their tag. It is in their Rory base. It is their DK weight, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. It's 245 yards in the colorway Shark Week. It's just really pretty blue. It's super pretty. I love it. And then I just used, ooh, I dropped it on my floor. I guess I'm gonna have to wash it before I use it again. I just used this fingering weight blue. It's an acrylic blue. It's not anything special. It's a, I don't even know what it's called. Wool-like from Michaels. You get 1 skein that's like 600 something. I have a closet full of it because I use it for people who are allergic to wool, and I want to knit them sweaters, finger weight sweaters, so I use that. And it's in my pickle bag by Ginger Snap Fibers. And I used my little yarn cozy that came with it. So that's Mr. Dill's blankie sweater, baby sweater. Again, the Flax by Tin Can Knits. A great pattern, a great pattern. If you want to start knitting sweaters and you're unsure about the construction and how that all works, knit a baby sweater. That's how I do it. If I am going to be working on a pattern that I have never knit or I'm unsure of, before I jump in, I will knit it as a baby sweater. Even if I just save it or donate it or something, that way it gives me an idea of the construction and I know what I'm doing before I embark on a big sweater. Especially when I did that for the first time I knit my husband a sweater, because I knit him a Flax worsted, and he's 6'3" and wears a 3XL tee. And I was like, let me knit this baby sweater first and then we'll go from there. So we found out there's going to be another baby born in the family. This baby's coming in February. So I went ahead and used my Yarnable yarn from last year, and I made a baby vertebrae. This is a DK weight yarn. And I went ahead and I got this all knit up. So I knit both of these baby sweaters in the same week. Had a lot of meetings that week. So this is Yarnable's, I have my balls here. So Yarnable in their November Deluxe, because that's what I get for my DK weight. It's Cranberry Blush is this very pretty maroon color, which is the contrast color for the ribbing. It's a 85-15. It's a 50-gram ball. And then the main color is called Sinful Delight. Same thing, Plush Decay, and that's this really pretty color. So 2 baby sweaters are done. I need to make, I think I'm gonna make a couple of baby hats out of this one, and at least 1 baby hat out of the Shark Week from Weird Sisters, and then the socks. And then of course the other baby will get some more stuff too, but we'll see. We shall see. So another thing that I managed to finish in this summer, last month in July, because I took this with me 4th of July weekend because we were out at the lake for a really long time, and after I finished this, I picked this back up, and I will say I'm happy to report that I have finished my Stephen West mystery knit along for October of 2023. I chose not to do the dip stitches at the bottom. I tried them multiple times and I didn't like how they were looking, so I went ahead and ripped it out, and I just chose to do a garter stitch border. Another thing that's kind of frustrating, so I went to block this. I blocked it with color catchers. I had like 6 of them in there, and the color still bled. So my white is no longer white. Instead, it's tinged with pink. There's nothing they can do about it. I'm just gonna deal with it. But it is finished in all of its lovely glory. So we have, this is clue 1 here in the middle. These are clue 2. And there are mistakes in here, obviously. This is clue 3. And then this was clue 4, which I just did a garter stitch, and then I bound off with a night cord. It's supposed to be white. I bound off in white. I'll show you, I don't think I have a picture before I bound off, and so it's the same on both sides. But it's amazing. This is done. This is marked done. This is no more. It was a lot of knitting. I'm happy to be done with it. It is the Geogradient shawl by Stephen West, the October 2023 mystery knit along. And then my colors, oh, this is how much I had left from my shirt I'm wearing of 3 skeins. Not very much. So I used Punk Rock Unicorn for my colors. I bought a kit. I will still buy a kit in October again when we do it again. That's just who I am. So Punk Rock Unicorn in their Soul base. It's a 8515 Superwash Merino in Mellow Neon. I don't remember the colorways. Watermelon Sugar Pop. Creamsicle. There we go. And then Neon Peach. So I think the Creamsicle, I have the colors here. And then I did use do the mohair pop thing with the, let me clean this bag out. I have it down here so I can do that. And I did not measure how much is left, but I have quite a bit of yarn left over. So I will take this out because I will need this. So we have Creamsicle, is this cream color, obviously. And then we have this really pretty pink color. I think this is Mellow Neon. This is Neon Peach. And then this would be the Watermelon Sugar Pop, I believe. I think that's how the colors work. So that is done. That was such an amazing feeling to have it finished. So yay. Yay, I did it. I got it finished. Look at me go. So to stay on the Stephen West bandwagon, if you want to so call it that, we have another Stephen West finished object. This was started in July 9th. I knit his mystery sock along. I'm a sucker for Stephen West. He has some kind of a mystery. I am down. I'm a sucker. I might not even wear it, but you know what? I'm still gonna do it. And the reason behind it is I always learn something new. So I know a lot of people are not huge Stephen West fans, and that's fine. But one thing about Stephen West is he always has new techniques to learn. And that's what I found in these socks. So these are the Color Popportunity socks by Stephen West. They were this year's surprise sock along. You were supposed to use a main color and 3 contrast colors. I chose to do only 1 main color and 1 contrast color. I kind of wish I would have used this as the main color and this as a contrast color, but it's too late now. So these were constructed like no other socks I've ever constructed. So we started with this section right here with the leg, which was knit, oh, you can't see. So we started here. These were knit flat. So you cast on and you knit this all flat, and then you do an I-cord to close it up, a 2-color I-cord. Hate I-cords, but here I am. So that was clue 1. And then clue 2, you did the heel. You had a choice between a garter stitch heel or a brioche heel. I chose brioche. I don't ever do brioche. I've only done it one other time. So that was a struggle. And then you add the cuff. You pick up and add the cuff. And then clue 3, you knit just this part right here. So you had a flappy top of your sock. And then clue 4, you connect the bottom of the foot to the top of the foot and then do the toe. I have never made socks like that, ever, in my entire life. But I did it this time, and they were so fun. I do have a mistake in my brioche. I did my brioche wrong here. Just that one row. Do I care? Nope. Am I gonna fix it? Absolutely not. They're for me. Nobody's gonna see them. I don't really care. And so it's fine. Mistakes are character, right? We're just gonna go with that. Having mistakes in your socks are character. So I had my tag up here for my main color. Oh well, it's in my Ravelry page projects. So here's the blue. It's a really deep blue. It's a 75-25. Let me pull it up just so I have it. I guess it's a good thing I have my iPad right here. So my main color is, I cannot say that. I will see if you can read it on my iPad. So the top one is my main color. It's in this navy blue. I got it down in Moscow at the Yarn Underground in their mystery sock bag. And then my second color I got while we were on vacation. I have been using up almost all the yarn that I bought on vacation. So this is Weird Sisters wool in their Lorelei base, which is a 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% stellina. It's 438 yards, and it's a Bob Ross colorway. So well, it didn't work out, so it's just called Bob Ross. But it's sparkly and it's got black and white and yellow. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on my machine and I'm going to make a pair of socks and use this as a contrast. So heel or cuff and toe, and then knit the rest of the sock. And I'm going to use Lycra, I think, with that. So here's another pair of socks, Steve & West, the Mystery Sock Along 2024. And that is going to transition us into my half finished object and a whip. It's going to be my main whip priority today and this weekend. So in my camping bag that I love dearly, here is finished object numero uno, number one. So to keep on the Steve & West love train bandwagon, my socks from 2023. So these were the, I don't remember the name of them. I don't remember. Anyways, oh wait, it's in my, I have my pattern. Because this Contrast Blast socks. So these are, there we go, Contrast Blast. These were the Secret Sock Along 2023. They are a 2-color sock. You started with the cuff, and you have these little cables that lead into these little zigzags. Then you have this, the heel, this cable that you decrease into, then these little cables on the top kind of with slips, and then a broken rib toe. So this I finished last weekend. Then I promptly got back to work. So I knit these socks. I'm in the middle of a row. So I knit these socks tandem. I would do a cuff, then a leg, then a leg. Well, somehow I managed to stop 2 rows short on my leg. I don't know what I was thinking. And then I started my heel. So I decided I'm just gonna finish one sock and then move on to the next. And so here we are. I am currently on the gusset decreases of the sock. So I'm hoping that this weekend I will be able to get this one finished. And then all of my Steve & West projects are finished and off the needles, no longer lingering. These, I don't have the yarn tags. I think they're upstairs in my little bag. They are the colors that were the, I ordered a mystery kit. So this is what came. A lot of people use the dark color as their main color and the light color, but I reversed it. So this is the right sock, and then this is the left sock. You can see the cables and stuff go opposite directions. So we're getting there. This is my main project for this weekend. Hopefully I'll have it finished. And then all Steve & West socks and projects are finished. So that's gonna lead me into a pair of socks that I'm working on that are literally just needing to be Kitchenered. So this yarn right here, I cranked these socks yesterday. Well, I cranked one the day before, and I finished cranking the other one. So this is a pair of socks for my husband. I'm in the process of Kitchenering the toe closed. So I'll take these to work on to the lake, and then I'll bring them back home and I'll activate them. And then all of my cotton socks are officially done, minus whatever I'm gonna do with all these leftovers that I have. I just have to decide. I am on the lookout for some more cottony summery socks that I can go ahead and make him some more throughout the year, but these are not anything special. They're the same thing. 15 round hung hem, heel tab, 15 rounds to fold it, 15 rounds on the leg, deep heel, 100 for the foot and a toe. So this is what it looks like when it comes off my machine, and then you just Kitchener all the way up and down, all the way around. So that is that project. This might be a short one, guys. We're coming up on 40 minutes though. I have 2 more whips to show you that I have worked on. And then I think that that will be it. Like I said, I wasn't feeling well, so I didn't do a lot of knitting. I've been trying to sneak in knitting here and there when I can, but it's been really hard. But so my next whip, it is my go around whip. Doctor's offices, walking, grocery stores, things like that. And this is a Musselburgh hat by Zilda Teague. This is for the girl who helped us when we went crabbing. When I showed it last month, which the video just uploaded on the 31st or on the 1st of August, so there's that. I had just passed the increases, but I've knit all of this. This is knit on a US 2.5 3mm needle. Oh, I didn't mention my socks. My socks are knit on a US 1 2.5. Both pairs were knit on these 2.25mm needles. So these are my red lace, my red Chalgu lace needles, my go-to sock needles for Magic Loop. But here it is. So we're getting there. I would think I'm about halfway through. Again, this is Weird Sisters wool. Weird Sisters in their Carol base, which is 75/25, and Befuddlement Drought. Never figured out what that means, but it is also hanging out in my Cotton Tail Farms little bag. It's almost to the point where I can just put it inside, the yarn ball inside, and just knit from it that way. But we're almost there. One more project and then I'm done. I don't think I've worked on really anything else. I've been trying to go with small projects, but projects that keep me going. Oh, I have my scale in here. I guess I could technically weight it. It's fine. So we are working on, in my, oh, I thought I was in the middle of the room, in my Polka Dot Creek Advent bag from my Canadian dyers from last year. You heard that right. I have my, it's my Christmas vacation knitting project blanket, the QUADROPHENIA by KF Jones. So I have finished, what am I tangled attached to? I don't know. So I have finished triangle number 1. So this is day 1, 2, oh, maybe I should show you the right side, huh? Imagine that. So day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So it's all done. The yarn dyers are Mary Margaret Fibers, Things Created Equal, Wool Baron, Newman Yarns, Allison Barn Yarns, Flock Fiber, and then day 7 was Forest Fringe. I have their tags somewhere, but I don't remember the colorway names, and I don't feel like looking through here. But so I've finished the first triangle, and now I'm working on the second triangle. So this is day 7. The pattern does not say to attach it as you go. You're supposed to knit a quadrant, knit a quadrant, knit one, and you're supposed to keep track of your rows. I took this with us when we went to Olympia, Sequim, Seattle area. So a couple weekends ago, we took the niece and the little cousins to the Olympic game farm. It's a rescue for all types of animals, and then you drive through and you get to feed them. It was a blast. The girls had fun. So this was my project. Other than my hat, this was my only project I took. Because I was like, I'm in the car for 5 hours to Seattle or to Olympia, because we stayed in outside of Olympia. It's a 2-hour drive to the game farm. It's a 2-hour drive back. It's a 5-hour ride home. This is all I'm working on. And so that's what I did. And so I decided when I started day 7, I am just going to pick up the stitches as I'm going and knit them together. So that way I don't have to seam. I don't want to seam. I'm not very good at sewing things together, hence my chickens. And so this is what I'm doing to remedy that. And so I just knit a row, I knit across, and I pick up the last stitch with one stitch here, and then I knit back across, and then I just do that back and forth. And it's working out so far. So hopefully I'll be able to keep this up. This is not gonna be the project I work on this weekend at the lake, but this will be, once I finish those socks, the Stephen West socks from last year, this is going to be my go-to project for when I am on the sofa after work. And then we're going to the lake. I'm gonna start after I finish those socks. That is my main goal, is to get those socks finished. And then I have 48.7 grams left of this. So I'm over halfway. So I'm getting there. I am getting there. So put that back in there. So I believe that's it for all my knitting projects. So my goal is to finish those socks this weekend, and then switch out to my Quadrophenia blanket as my at-home sitting on the sofa after work knitting. And then once that's done, I think I'm gonna start working on my habitation throw. I work on it here and there. Oops. I work on it here and there during meetings, but it's got so many stitches on it and it's heavy that I just need somewhere to focus and just sit and knit it. I'm gonna make some baby hats, maybe some more baby sweaters. I have my last Yarnable DK from last year. It's a blue and orange. That might turn into a baby sweater as well. I don't know which one yet. I haven't decided, but that might turn into something. And then I'm not test knitting at all for the rest of the year unless it's socks. So no more sweaters or shirts or anything like that. I have a lot of organizing I have to do. I have to organize this whole room. Actually, I have to clean out this whole room and then repaint it and stuff. But so I have some stuff that's not necessarily knitting related that are projects, but mostly it's all going to be knitting. I would like to work on a square day for my cardigan, but I don't know. Maybe I can do that before work. Been working a lot, so I've been working overtime every week. So I start work at 4:30 in the morning and I get off at 5:30 every night. So I've been tired. Usually a lot of my crafting is done in the morning before work, but this week coming up I'm not working any overtime, so maybe I can get a good chunk of crafting done, because I still wake up at 4:30, so I might as well just get up and knit till work starts at 7. I'll be working 7 to 5:30. So yeah, I don't know what else to say other than thank you for coming back. And if you have any suggestions on cotton yarns, please drop them below. Let me know. Tag me on stuff on Instagram, whatever. I definitely need more. I think it's up to 12 pairs, but I'd like to make more just to keep a rotation through. And I need to count all of his non-cotton socks to see how many he has, so I know how many more I need to knit for Christmas time for my husband. So alrighty guys, thank you for coming back. Thank you for hanging out with me. This one is shorter. I'm trying to not ramble as much. I don't know if anyone wants to hear about our life stuff, which I did give a tiny little bit, but I wanted to make it shorter. We're at 51 minutes right now, so we will see if that helps with uploading and whatnot. So again, thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you for coming back. If you have any suggestions, definitely put them down below. Any yarns, anything, any good patterns, drop them below. And again, thank you, and I will see you next time. Bye.